Are you sick and tired of having to wear a retainer after you completed years of braces just to try to keep your teeth straight? I'm about to share with you something that most people only realize after their teeth start moving again. I'm Dr. Ryan Vaughn, board certified ENT. This is our Exhale Sinus YouTube channel where we aim to make what seems to be complicated medical problems easy to understand. We are going to discuss, number one, how to get rid of that retainer for good. Number two, why did you need braces in the first place? And number three, how education can help prevent somebody that you know or love from ever needing braces in the first place. Before you throw out your retainers, we need to make sure that your airway is stable first. Can you chew a meal with your mouth closed, breathing entirely through your nose? Can you walk at a brisk pace and still breathe through your nose for 10 minutes? Those are two tests to determine whether or not you may have an inability to breathe through your nose that needs to be addressed immediately. The other thing that you can change is what you eat. When we look back at old skulls, remarkably, they have straight teeth. How in the world do they have straight teeth and amazingly developed jaws, but we don't? Well, what has changed is that our food has become more processed. In ancient times, they had to chew hard and actually to chew the food that they were going to swallow and eat. Today, we have manufacturing plants that do that hard work for us, and so our jaws have become smaller, and with smaller jaws, we are more likely to have narrow airways. With narrow airways, mouth breathing, following with that crooked teeth, and even down the line all the way to sleep apnea. What could you do today? The food that you eat should be high in fiber, not processed, and actually requires some work to chew so that you're moving your mouth. Once you're able to choose appropriately non-processed foods, breathe well through your nose, and keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth, those will be keys for success to keeping your teeth straight. So first of all, what's going on behind the scenes here? Our teeth sit inside of the bones of our mid-face and jaw. This bone here is called the maxillary bone or maxilla, and this is called our mandible. Our tongue is the master driver of all of these bones as they grow when we're little to becoming adults. In order for that process to happen, our tongue needs to be sitting on the roof of the mouth, comfortably in between the teeth. If when we were a child, our tongue was able to sit on the roof of our mouth and rest there throughout the day and night, nasal breathing, that actually would then push the maxillary bone to grow outward around the tongue, creating enough space for the tongue, and the mandible will follow. One question, does your orthodontist just hate you and want to torture the hell out of you? No. They're just trying to protect their work. And they're doing that with the metal to try to withstand the forces of your tongue pushing and twisting those teeth back into an abnormal position. But what's it really trying to do? What your tongue is trying to do is create space for itself so that you can simply breathe. Another problem is if you can't breathe through your nose, now your mouth is open, and all of our facial muscles are pulling everything in, and that's gonna make a smaller jaw. It's going to twist the teeth because they don't have room to fit. And then again, your tongue starts fighting for space. With slow pressure over time, your tongue is always going to win because it never stops fighting unless you wear a retainer or fix the problem. So here's where you go back to. If you have the ability to identify obstructions in your nasal breathing, address that with an ENT. That has to be step one. The next step is working with a myofunctional therapist to make sure that your tongue can actually sit on the roof of your mouth. Your tongue will be your own built-in retainer if your tongue sits where it needs to go and you have the ability to breathe through your nose. Now, some of us are going to actually have jaws that have formed and are so narrow that without more significant intervention, such as a expansion where the maxillary bone is actually made wider or brought forward through orthodontic surgery, they're always going to struggle. Now, an orthodontist can help to really walk you through that process and identify whether you are a candidate for that type of surgery. Thank goodness most of us, with simple airway corrections, improved tongue posture and tongue tie release, will actually be able to now maintain that straight teeth shape that your orthodontist worked so hard to create for you, and you don't need the built-in metal or plastic. If you like this style of content, hit the like button and click subscribe. And if you'd be so kind to share with someone else, then they can learn from this information as well. I'm Dr. Ryan Vaughn with Exhale Sinus. Thank you for watching.